Well, hello again, my watch family. This is the crazy cowboy watchmaker. I'm in the shop today. I got quite a few projects going. Let me get this light where you guys can see me a little better. There we go. So, we've got a Rolex we're working on. Started on it yesterday. Getting everything organized, looking at all the work I've got to do. And I've got this ladies Bulova. I've redone the case on it, got it all pretty, and I've also fixed the movement. So this is a Bulova movement. Wind this bad boy up. This thing was rusted. A lot of these watches that are ladies' watches, touch the back so I can see. I've completely restored this thing. Runs perfect now. It's an older watch. The dial's got a little discoloration and age to it, but people like that. So I've got that watch running perfectly. I've got the case all done, and I've got to get a crystal for it. I've got 2 crystals, 1 and 2, that I'm gonna have to do a little bit of filing on because the inside of this thing is curved and my crystals that came in are flat. So that's the next project I'm gonna do. I love bringing them old suckers back to life. And I finished this tag. It's an automatic tag. It's got a whole bunch of parts in it, just like a Rolex. And this thing's running perfect. Now all I gotta do is do a factory finish on the case band and bezel. Now, so it's good to see you guys. I'll take my hat off so it don't get in the way. I want to undo this thing right here and kind of show you a little bit of what's going on. So this is my bench. I've got quite a few projects going. So this is the watchmaker's world. Got my timer over there. Got plenty of lights for my camera. Got my truing tools there, my balancing tools there, my staking set here, and we are fixing to watch me use my staking set. A couple of old pocket watches I got to work on. So I've got plenty of work. I got this I got this Accutron in, man. I tell you what, Accutrons are rare. This is a tuning fork movement, and this tuning fork movement vibrates at 360 cycles per second, and at 360 cycles per second we have a beryllium wheel in there that's very soft, and that beryllium wheel has 360 teeth. So I've got to take this apart, clean it, find out what's wrong with the circuit. It's not humming. These things vibrate at a frequency of 360 hertz. And that makes the watch hum, and it makes the second hand very perpetual. There is no ticks, there's no jumps. It just spins and hums. When you put these things to your ear, once it's working, man, it's beautiful. Problem is with these watches is the weights that have the coils around them are on one side. So if you tilt it this way, it runs 10-20 seconds a day fast. If you tilt it this way, it runs 10 to 20 seconds a day slow, and that is because the arms are on one side, and so gravity affects the timing of the watch. So they basically shit can this idea. These were built in the 70s, and they just don't make them anymore. And I think I'm the only watchmaker in America that works on them. So I probably have to order a circuit. I'm not getting any electrical impulse from this circuit. In any case, my bench This is a staking tool set, and I'm fixing to use it. So let me put this camera back. And today I'm going to do a lot of refinishing. That's my buffing station. And I spend a lot of time over there. Now what's cool is these buffing stations create a lot of dust, right? And I can't have dust in this room, right? I just cannot have dust in this room. So I decided that I was going to make a system that has a lot of vacuum, and I came up with an idea. I'll show you what I did. Let me move these chairs out of the way. So I mounted 2 vacuums, and the vacuums come in here to the back of this buffer. I drilled the holes. We've got one there, and we've got one right here. And those 2 vacuums create a lot of suction. So I can turn this on, and I've got quite a bit of suction, right? But it's not enough. The dust gets in the room, it's no good. So I've got this vacuum. And now, the air that's pulling through this hole right here is absolutely strong. So you can take any of this stuff and it just sucks it right out. See that? Any little bits of dust. It just sucks right through it. Look at that. Now, I've got a lot of vacuum. And the trick is, I turn the lights off in this room and I get my flashlight and I shine it in the air, and there is no dust particles in this air, and that's when I open a Rolex, and that's when I get to work. So I'm fixing to show you how to use a staking set, and then I've got a whole bunch of oxidation on this automatic wind weight, and we're going to take care of that. All right, here we go. James Bailey Rolex Restoration. Sorry about my voice. I had bronchitis a couple weeks ago, and I still hadn't got my voice back. It's driving me absolutely nuts. So this is my staking set. This is the base. Got little holes in it. And this is a tool. Now what I'm going to attempt to do is knock this broken arbor out. So I want to put the hole about, dang, I put that thing on there tight. There you go. I don't know my own strength. So we're going to spin this thing around, and I think that hole right there is going to be about right. So I'm going to center it, and I've got a little center punch right here. So we center the hole. If I can get it in there. Come on, baby. All right, now we're centered. Give it a little tap, tap, tap. Make sure it's center. Tighten this thing down. Put my weight up here. We're going to knock that sucker out. Right there. So I know this thing is centered. So that thing is frictioned in. Give it a little tap, and shing, freaking voila. We have a balance weight, oscillating weight axle has been removed. Now I've ordered an oscillating weight axle. It hadn't come in yet, but we're going to do some work on this thing. Look at all that oxidation. It's all black, looks like crap. So I'm gonna go over on my buffer. I don't think I have a camera mount over there, and I'm gonna polish this thing up, and we're gonna make it pretty again. And I'll come back in just a minute and show you what I did. And it's good having you guys in the shop. I get lost in here in my work, usually in here by myself. Customers don't stay long. They always got something to do. They're busy. In any case, let me do a little work on this sucker. and we'll see if we can make it pretty again. That's the only thing in this watch that's oxidized, but we're gonna get this thing in good shape. All right, I'm back. We've got this thing shined up nice and pretty. Got the set and finish back where the set and finish goes. Got all that oxidation off of it. So we got a balance. Actually, it's a oscillating weight arbor on the way in the mail. A bunch of stuff came in this morning. I thought it was it, but it'll probably come in tomorrow. And we've replaced this clutch wheel, which was worn. It's a tiny little thing. On one side, the gears are slanted so that when you wind your watch backwards, it just slips. But then when you wind your watch forwards, the gears actually connect, and it drives the ratchet wheel, which drives the mainspring, which drives the power of the watch. So that thing slips, you ain't gonna be able to wind your watch, and might as well just bring it to me. In any case, we've got everything pretty much done on this watch. She works good, and all I've got to do now is put that jewel, that top jewel, back and get it secure, and this thing's gonna run like a top. I'll catch you on the flip side, my watch family. Sure is nice visiting with you guys. Makes me feel like I've got company in my shop and I'm not here alone all day. This is pretty cool. Thank y'all for watching. Okay, we are fixing to do the top jewel, which is a very, very small part. And I wish I could zoom in on this thing, but I'm not sure how. But I'm gonna show you what we're doing here. Now this is a jewel. It's got two parts. Now that's sticking, so I'm gonna clean my screwdriver tip. Matter of fact, I've got a pair of screwdrivers up here that I really like to do this with because they got a good end. So this is a jewel, right? And I've got to get that cap off of that jewel and put a little bit of oil in it. So my trick is I take just a tiny bit of this Rolex, move this over, and I smash it onto the paper. And then carefully, because you squeeze these things and they go flying, you will never find them. This is one of the smallest parts. So I'm gonna stick it on this Rolex and try to suck that cap jewel off of this hole jewel. So here we go. There we go. Got it off. Now it's two parts. Now we've got the cap. You guys can see that. The cap jewel, which is right there, and it sucks into this hole jewel. But that jewel has to have a small bit of oil, and I'm talking a tiny amount, right in the center of the jewel. If you put too much oil on it, capillary attraction will just pull the oil right out. So I've got it. Well, it's still got a little bit of dirt on it, so I'm gonna drop it a couple times and see if it lands. So now I'm gonna take it, I'm gonna rub it on my paper. And I rub it and rub it and rub it, and I clean the flat part of that jewel. Now I've got to turn it upside down. And stick it to that rodico so that when I oil it with this oiler, which is a very, very precise oiler, it dispenses very, very small amounts of oil. I don't know if you can see that on the paper, but it makes a little mark. It's just a tiny bit of oil. And I use a 30-year synthetic oil, so used to people use whale oil and they'd dry up and turn to powder. This is a synthetic oil. Little old bottle of it costs about $300, but the bottle's gonna last me about 2,000 years, so I don't think I'm gonna last that long. So here we go. What I'm gonna do is, hope you guys can see this, I'm gonna put just a small amount. Let me get my loop right. This is very important. Tiny, tiny, tiny amount of oil right in the center of that cap jewel. This is one of the hardest things to do because picking these things up is dangerous. Now that I've got the hole jewel on the cap jewel, it's supposed to snap in. Well, it didn't snap in. There's a little sound it makes. When it snaps in. Any kind of oil on my screwdriver will keep me from being able to pick that sucker up. So I'm gonna pick it up carefully. And set it. I've dropped it 4 or 5 times, but it's better than squeezing it too hard, sending that sucker across the room. I'm gonna set it right on that cap jewel. See if she'll snap in. All right, I heard it snap. So now, kind of give it a little rub. Now we got the cap jewel and the hole jewel together. And we're going to gently set it down on that shaft. All right, she's in. Now the bottom jewel is oiled properly. The top jewel is oiled properly. And I've got my oscillating weight all shined up and all pretty. Got the oxidation off of it. So when the arbor comes in, I'll stake it, and that'll be the last thing I do to this watch. So I'm gonna put this thing aside and start on another one. I've got this tag that I need to do a factory finish on the case band and bezel, and I might try to move my camera over there where you guys can see me buffing and polishing and all the little tricks, because that is very interesting when you do the factory finish on some of these watches to make them look brand new. So I'm gonna sign off right now. Have me a cup of coffee, maybe take a little break. Got that done, and I appreciate you guys watching. This little world I live in is quite fascinating. It's just amazing. All the tools and all the things that has to happen to get a watch running. And throughout these videos, I'm gonna explain it all. I'm gonna explain it all. Crazy cowboy watchmakers in his shop, losing himself. I'm fixing to turn some music on. Listen to some Walker Hayes, relax a little bit, and start on another one. Actually, I've got this case, this dirty case, and I've got this bezel, and I've got this band, and everything is all scratched up. I mean to tell you, Whoever wore this watch wore it all the time. But we're gonna turn this thing in. Now the key thing with these, this is all rounded off right here. This, it's rounded off. That needs to be sharp as a knife. So I've got to work that metal. This is 904 stainless. It's softer than 316. And I'm gonna work that metal to where we get a nice sharp edge right here. And that is one of the things that is really, really important. And this back has a satin finish in a certain direction right here on the top. And then a mirror finish here and a satin finish there. So this thing has got lots of dents, lots of scratches. Really don't know how that happens, because people, you know, they wear their watch, the back of the watch is on their wrist, right? How in the heck do you get scratches and dents on the back? I don't know. Put it in their pocket and carry it around with a bunch of change? Who knows? But it's my job to fix it, and I'm honored to bring this little sucker back to life, because this lady loves her Rolex. It's an old one, but we're gonna make it a new one. So I'll talk to you guys later and set this camera up so you guys can see me over there buffing the case, back, band, and bezel. Quite an interesting process. Now I've got this case tube that I took out, and it is completely toast. So I'm gonna shit can this one, Thile 13 it, and put a brand new one in it, new gaskets and all that. Then we'll depth test this sucker when we get it running, and then we'll call the customer and tell them it's ready. Maybe they'll stay a while and visit. Signing off. Crazy Cowboy Watchmaker. I gotta learn to get my hand out of that damn picture. We'll see you guys. Thanks for watching. Hello again, my watch family. This is Mr. James Bailey, the Crazy Cowboy Watchmaker. Got a lot going on today, but I wanted to mention something. I've got, I made these Rolex cups for cold or hot liquid. It's got Rolex, Bailey's Rolex Restoration, certified master horologist. So these things are handmade from a little mom and pop store down in Paris, Texas. And these things, I don't think they're dishwasher proof, but I wash mine all the time and get them wet. Water doesn't seem to hurt them, but they're easy to grip. Got a little soft cushion here with the Rolex leather wrap. They're really cool. I call them cowboy classy. I got my whole watch shop set up as a cowboy classy watch shop. So I'm working on a few Rolexes today. Doing a little troubleshooting, divide and conquer. That's the way we do it. Get rid of that hat so I can get down here and get to business. So if you guys want to order one of these, I'm really not selling them. I just, everybody that does a Rolex restoration with me and gets the full meal deal, or just a crystal or a simple little fix, my customers always walk out of the shop with a Bailey's Rolex Restoration mug. And I've got coffee in this thing, and it's been hot all day, so they're really good. I don't know if I'm supposed to sell those things, but I will if you want one. It's good advertising, and it's a real cool cup because it's got that leather wrap. So what I'm doing here, I'm gonna have to zoom in. I've got this watch apart, and I've taken the escape wheel out. That's that metal stainless escape wheel that's got some really funky teeth on it at a certain angle, so it meshes with that pallet fork. And that pallet fork, it's got two jewels that you have to push in and set at the right distance. Turn it over, heat the thing up, shellac the back of it so those jewels don't fall out. And in the back, we've got a little overbanking pin. There we go. That little, oh, I dropped it. Where'd it go? It's always better to drop it than to send it. Anyway, this little pallet fork, those jewels have to be clean. That pin has to be the right length to keep it from overbanking, and those jewels, they've got to be set in the right distance so that when they mesh with this escape wheel, you've got slide, lock, drop lock, and that these two pieces right here is what makes the sound of the tick, 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 tick. This pallet fork, let me clean my screwdriver. This pallet fork sits right here and it goes tick, 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 tick. So that is that what's make the sound. The rest of the gears, they just turn and they don't make any noise. That little escape wheel is one crazy little mamba jamba, and it is a small little sucker. So I'm taking this thing out. I've got the center wheel out, got the third wheel out. Here's the bridge. The bridge has got 3 jewels. Those things have to be pressed in to the right distance so that the end shake is about 2 thousandths. So it's not too tight, it's not too loose. If it's too loose, the gears won't mesh, because these gears are very, very thin. They're made of brass, and they have to mesh perfectly. So if they have too much end shake, the gear will actually miss the teeth, and then you got all kinds of problems. So this particular watch has a bridge. I'm going to take those out. And this little bridge holds the cannon pinion. There's the bridge. And it's got a jewel in it. It's got to be oiled. And that little chingoletta right there, that little gear, that's what goes through the watch, and then the cannon pinion snaps onto it. Now we got metal on metal, so we got to use just a little bit of grease on that one. But what I'm looking for is worn teeth. Get this thing set in here correctly. So I can turn this, I don't know if you can see that, but I can wind that mainspring, and that barrel turns, and it's turning. The second wheel, it's already in there. I've already oiled it. So we're going to put this thing back together. I know it's a lot of little parts. I don't know if this thing has a zoom, but I'm going to put it right here. Let's see. Get that thing in the center. All right, we're cooking now. So I got my little handy dandy oiler. It's got a little 45-degree angle on it. Got to make sure everything in here gets just a skosh of oil. That thing's turning free. So what we're going to do now, we're going to take a look at this escape wheel. It looks perfect. Third wheel's going to go in. See if we can drop that sucker in there. Well, it's not gonna go. I had to go the other side, take all that apart. I'm gonna put the escape wheel right there. All right. This little baby drops down in here. There's a jewel way down in there. And that meshes with the mainspring in the second wheel. Now this is center pinion. This carries the second hand. So it goes all the way through the watch. But what we're gonna do is, we're gonna put this bridge back on, but we're gonna make sure got just a skosh of oil on it. So it only goes in there one way. There we go. Some of these parts are so machined, so close. The tolerances are out of this world. And man, I'm telling you, just about one thousandths or a half a thousandths, and you got problems. So now that we got that in there, we're gonna go ahead and spin that. We'll go ahead and spin that mainspring barrel. Make sure everything's meshing correctly, because every once in a while you'll get one of these in there and it'll be a little bit cattywampus. So this thing has jewel on top. We're gonna make sure it has a little bit of oil, so everything's slick. Now that meshes with that. Now, we're missing one. We need the second wheel in that little hole right there. So getting these things, setting these jewels, looks like it's set, and it meshes with the center wheel. I've never actually worked on watches and talked at the same time. My concentration level, I can tell while I'm talking, is not what it's supposed to be. Now here's the bridge. I've already cleaned all the pivots. We're going to add just a little bit of oil to each one of these. Now getting all these little gears back in them jewels is actually quite a trick. It's hard to tell where these damn things go. I think it's gonna go like this. There we go. So we got to get this bridge on here. This is one of the things where you just gotta hold your mouth just right. You got to get it set in there. Oh, it just dropped. But my escape wheel, it didn't go. So I'm going to have to raise it up. Slide this thing in there. All right, I felt it go. So now, all these gears are all kind of cattywampus. And each one of them has to go in the jewel hole. So basically what you do is you start over here on this side and you just start massaging. And it'll drop in, you'll see it. You'll hear, oh, just dropped in, that's one. That's two. Now the escape wheel is the worst. Little sucker. Doesn't never want to go in the hole. You've got to get in here and get a good look at it. So that one's in and that one's in, and the escape wheel is not in. So this thing takes a little bit of patience. First thing you gotta do is get it in the bottom jewel. And once it sets, it'll go in the top jewel. There's that one. Well, that's gonna help. You've got the other two in. The only thing holding it up is the escape wheel. It is not wanting to cooperate. One thing about watch repair, you gotta have some patience. And every once in a while, you just gotta, like in this case, that escape wheel's not wanting to go in there, so I gotta take the bridge off. And we gotta find out why it's not wanting to go in. Oh, I see. It's not in the bottom hole. It's got to go in that hole. You'll feel it drop. There it goes. All right. Now if we can just get it to stay. I'm telling you, when you're in here trying to get all these gears lined up, start with a big one. You gotta push it and you gotta put a little pressure on it with your finger. You don't want to break anything. You just want, oh, you just want it to fall in, so that fell in. All right, now we're cooking. Let's get this escape wheel in. We're close. We're close. Oh, come on. Well, She's not falling in. Now, I'm gonna check the pivots. It acts like it's got a broke pivot. So let me check that out. Hands are starting to cramp. Neck muscles are starting to cramp. Oh, you gotta have some patience with these little bastards. But we'll get it. But I'm gonna check the pivots and make sure all those are correct, because it just doesn't feel right. So I'm gonna have me a little coffee. Well, I don't need no more coffee, it makes me shake. But anyway, watch repair. Things just don't go the way you want them to go, ever. There's always something. And it's so tiny you can barely see it. But I'm gonna check all these pivots and put them on my screw calipers and make sure everything's kosher, because this watch has got a lot of problems. But we are going to get to the bottom of it, and we're going to make sure this thing is perfect. So, signing off. Sayonara. Get my hand out of the way. Got in trouble for that. Thank you guys for watching. Once I figure out what's going on with this escape wheel, I'll come back to you. We'll finish putting this thing together. It's fun. Gotta have a little patience. Glad you guys come in my shop with me and kind of spend the day with me. This is an amazing place to work. It's an amazing profession. And it blows my mind that all these little parts that you can barely see fit together and they keep time. It's just amazing. And I've been doing this since 1991. In any case, love you guys. I'm glad I have a watch family. It's almost like people are in here in the shop and I'm talking to them, having a conversation. Usually I just talk to the watches and the watches don't talk back. They just give me trouble. See you in a bit. Okay, crazy cowboy watchmaker. I'm back. Had a little trouble with that escape wheel, and I didn't see anything wrong with it. Put the bridge back on, gave it a little massage. Ow! It just dropped right in. Those pivot holes are so deadgum tiny, and those pivots are microscopic, and that pivot has to go in that hole. And sometimes you've just got to take a little break, come back, and put that bridge on right there. I'll be dang if that son of a gun didn't just fall in. I'll take that any day. So now I got my screws. Let me put this camera down here where you can see. Now I got my screws I got to put in. I always pick my screws up like this by the threads, so the threads are hanging down, so when I drop it, it falls right in, just like that. And I always put my fingers up here. I know you can't see, but the fingers make me steady, because getting these little screws, the first thread is always a cantankerous little son of a buck. And you got to get that first thread started, and that screw is wobbling around, and you've got to get your screwdriver head right and not put any pressure on it. And there you go. Once we get the pressure on it, we can tighten that thing up. So I'm gonna put this other screw in it. See how I pick it up, just like that. So when I let go of it, it just falls right in. All right, now, look at this. I'm gonna wind it up just a bit. Oh yeah. She's spinning now. Running them wheels. Ooh, that's smooth. I do believe I like that. All right. We're gonna put the pallet fork in. Now, this is always a pain in the butt. This dang thing is so damn tiny. I don't know if you can see that. It's, oh shit, I dropped it. Better to drop it than to send it. This little chingoletta, it does the tick, tick, tick. It goes back and forth. It's got a little gap in the back. It's got little jewels in the front. And a tiny, tiny, tiny shaft. And that's this one shaft that I really do not like changing. Now you got to get this shaft drop in a hole before you can put the bridge on it. Come on now. Quit arguing with me, you little shit. Get in there. Aha, she fell in. Now we got a bridge. Oh, listen to that clock. Isn't that great? I got that clock the other day at an estate sale. They were done. And that big son of a gun was free. They just wanted it gone. Boy, I shimmied all up to Sherman as quick as I could, and I picked that thing up. And man, it sounds beautiful when it chimes. I just love that clock. What I really love is it was free. That clock's worth probably $6,000 now. I gotta put this bridge on here, and we got some holes where the studs go in. And you set it down and you just touch it until you get the studs lined up like that. Now, that pallet fork's wobbling around in there. Hopefully the bottom pivot is still in. So put a little bit of pressure on it. I guess you guys can see this. A little bit of pressure on it, and you just touch. Oh, hell yeah. It fell in. Yippee. Got a couple of screws. You notice every one of these screws are different. So you keep your screws separate. Because if you ever get them mixed up, every screw is longer or shorter than the other one. Some of them have shoulders. Some of them are backwards threaded, reverse threaded. Pick that screw up correctly. Well, better to drop it than lose it. It's quiet in here today. I can't play my music because I don't think I have permission. So there's a couple of things I'm not going to do to get in trouble, and one of them is music. So this is the Rolex. Basically takes all the fingerprints off the watch. All right. So we're going to give it a little wind. I don't know if you can see it or not, but you touch that pallet fork right there. It's got pressure on it. Let me see what you're looking at. There we go. The pallet fork right there. It's on this side, so I'm going to touch it. And she bounced over to the other side. Since she's got tension on her, line this thing up a little bit. All you gotta do is touch that thing. Bam, bam. So she's going back and forth. Now, these pallet stones, they need just a skosh of oil. I'm gonna have to get this light down here where I can see. Look at that. Put some light on the subject. There it is. So put just a tiny bit of oil on that pallet fork. Now let's see if she jumps a little better. Oh yeah. Perfect. She's jumping back and forth just like she's supposed to. All right, so we got this thing together. We're gonna put the balance in. I'll go back to the other side and put the date on, and we will go from there. But with watch repair, you go in stages, and once you get that done, you just kind of back up, take a deep breath, relax a little bit, kind of get your neck muscles, because I got a head that probably weighs 40, 50 pounds, and I don't know how in the heck I became a watchmaker other than getting hurt and having to go to watch repair school while I was in a wheelchair. But that's a whole nother story, and I'll tell y'all about that later. And I got all kinds of stuff to tell y'all. All kinds of stuff. I got some stories that'll blow your mind. Things come together. God just stepped in and took control and guided me. And sometimes I wasn't even praying for guidance, and He guided me anyway. You know, Satan, he always builds an exit ramp right off of God's path, and God's always there to build that entrance ramp to get right on God's path. So every once in a while, you just got to stop and realize that God is working in your life, and it ain't what you want, but it's what's best for you, and that's His plan. So don't run from it. Don't run from it. Just relax and take the path, take the entrance ramp, and it'll all work out, because we think we know, but we don't. God knows. He built us. He's got a plan for us. And by God, as humans, it sure is hard to listen. We got all this stuff we want to do, and sometimes it's just not what we're supposed to be doing. Have an open mind, folks. I will talk to you guys later. Thank you. Oh, I'm not supposed to use that hand. I got in trouble. All right, we'll see you in a minute.